Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. And in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you some news and updates about Worcester Warriors and their financial issues. So it was reported that Worcester had until today, 5 p.m. this evening, to submit to the RFU documents to show how there was a financial payroll going on, how they were going to take the club into the future. That deadline had come around today, and I can update by saying Worcester Warriors suspended from all competitions after RFU Monday deadline missed. The Warriors were given a deadline of 5 p.m. today to evidence insurance cover, availability of funds to meet the monthly payroll, and credible plan to take the club forward. Worcester player Matt Kavaski opened up to Sky Sports News on how and his teammates have been affected. So this now does mean Worcester have entered administration. They have to find a new club, new owners. Otherwise, they'll be kicked out of the top tier of the English Gallagher Premiership, which means it'll be reduced to 12 teams. But it says here, Worcester Warriors have been suspended from all competitions by the Rugby Football Union after missing the deadline to show plans were in place to move forward from the financial crisis enveloping the club. Worcester were given until 5 p.m. today to provide the governing body with evidence that they possessed the required insurance, were able to meet payroll, and have a credible plan to take the club forward. The Gallagher Premiership club has been branched by debts totaling more than 25 million, including at least 6 million in unpaid tax, and growing anger felt towards owners Colin Goldring and Jason Whittingham. The owners of Worcester Warriors have not met the RFU's 5 p.m. deadline to evidence insurance cover, availability of funds to meet the monthly payroll, and a credible plan to take the club forward. A statement from the RFU said, the RFU, which is the Rugby Federated Football Union, has therefore suspended Worcester Warriors from all competition, including the Gallagher Premiership, Alizan Premier 15s, Under 18s, Academy Cup games, and ASEAN Cup with immediate effect. The RFU will now work with Premiership Rugby and the Department for Culture, Media and Sport to establish what this will mean in terms of the competition affected by Worcester's suspension. RFU Chief Executive Officer Bill Sweeney expressed his thanks to all involved at Warriors, whose efforts have allowed the club to continue playing during the opening weeks of the 2022-23 Gallagher Premiership season, but added the governing body were left with little choice but to suspend them from all competition. So this does now mean they won't be playing any Premiership Rugby, women's games, cup games, unless they can find new owners to take over the club. Otherwise they go kaput, they go out of the top league, and they have to rebuild. He goes to add on, we appreciate that it's incredibly difficult news for fans, staff and players. Sweeney said, "We would like to thank the staff and players who have worked tirelessly over recent weeks to unveil matches to continue. We met with players and staff last week to explain why this action would be necessary and regrettably without insurance in place. We had to take this action to protect everyone's best interests. We hope buyer can secured to allow Worcester Warrior and the University of Worcester Warriors to return professional league rugby. While it is the responsibility of each business owner to manage their individual finances, we will look at learnings from this situation to see what regulations can be put in place to provide all parties with more financial transparency. Rugby is a relevant young professional sport, and it has been widely recognised that clubs have been facing financial challenges even before COVID. So even before this whole COVID thing come round, there were clubs that were already struggling with all these financials, and Worcester's just gone on. Successful professional leagues are vital for the well-being of the whole game. They inspire current and future players, delight fans by showcasing high skill levels and the exciting nature of our game. That is why it's so important we continue to work with the Premiership Rugby to improve the structure, governance and business model of rugby union in England. Steve Diamond tweeted, #together, it's been some ride with the Warriors. Loved every minute. Good night from me. The RFU will continue to support community rugby in Worcester and is fully committed to ensuring local academy opportunities are provided for pathway players. The news of Worcester's suspension was followed by Premiership rivals Wasps, who last week filed a notice of intent to appoint an administrator, tweeting their support for Warriors. Wasps and the entire rugby family stands as one with all the players, staff and supporters of Worcester Warriors. A post on the Coventry-based club's tweet feed read, On Saturday evening, the night of their round 3 Premiership victory over Newcastle Vulcans at Sixway, Director of Rugby Steve Diamond looked to be sending out a farewell message. Obviously the message is saying, Wasps and the entire rugby family stands as one with all the players, staff and supporters of Worcester Warrior. It has been some ride with the Warriors. Loved every minute. Good night from me, Diamond said. He prefaced the message with the hashtags that Worcester players and staff have been using throughout the club's difficulties. #together. Diamond had been a stalwart figure and assured leader during Worcester's challenges. He joined the club as lead rugby consultant back in November 2021, and in January this year, it was announced he would become director of rugby following Alan Solomon's retirement at the end of June. The Warriors were due to face Gloucester in the Premiership on Saturday, but the match at Kingsholm is now off following the suspension being announced. Gloucester then tweeted, following the confirmation from the RFU that Worcester Warriors have been suspended, our scheduled match this week will not go ahead as planned. Our thoughts go to Worcester Warriors, players, staff and supporters. We hope to see them return in the Premiership soon. The club awaits further information as whether the fixture is cancelled or postponed and will update supporters as soon as possible thereafter, Gloucester said in a statement. Our thoughts go to Worcester Warriors, players, staff and supporters following the news of their suspension from the league. We hope to see them return to the Premiership again soon. Premiership Rugby confirmed the news of Saturday's fixture now not taking place, an announcement of their own, and Chief Executive Simon Maisie Taylor insisted the competition will remain in daily contact with both Worcester and the RFU. Although the RFU decision to suspend Worcester Warriors from all competitions won't be a surprise to many, I know this will continue to be a distressing time for players, staff and supporters at the club, and we will continue to support them where we can during the next phase, Maisie Taylor said. The decision affects other clubs in the league too, and we're sorry for the disruption it has caused. Gloucester Rugby and its supporters host home fixture will no longer take place this weekend. We will be continuing to review the situation daily with the club and the RFU. So now Worcester Warriors have entered administration. They've been suspended from cup games, league games, under 18 games, because of their financial difficulties. And every club is sending their support out to the players, staff and supporters, and everyone hoping to see Worcester Warriors back in the Premiership at some time soon. If not, it will be a real shame to see them go cup up and get kicked out. But that is the update on Worcester Warriors, and they have been suspended from all competition after Rugby Football Union Monday deadline missed today. So Worcester have been suspended from everything. But on a positive, Worcester are fighting, trying to find new owners. That's it from me, guys. Please give this video a like. Send your thoughts and wishes over Twitter, Instagram, Facebook to Worcester Warriors. And have a nice evening.